Good morning, dear students. I am Dr. Yogita Khatri, working as Associate Professor in the Department of Computer Science and Engineering in Manav Rachna International Institute of Research and Studies, Faridabad. First of all, I welcome you to the course Computer Network. This is one of the most important core subjects in computer science and engineering. Today, almost everything you use, maybe mobile phones, UPI payments, cloud storage, online classes, social media, and all AI platforms, they all able to work just because of computer network. Simply, I put network connects the digital world. This subject is not only academically important but also highly relevant for industry roles and competitive examinations like GATE, NET, PSUs, and sometimes also for cracking technical interviews. Now, I'll be first of all telling you why this course is important. This course actually makes the backbone of your today's digital world. It enables, because of this subject, internet and cloud computing is possible, online payments, social media, AI platforms, mobile, IoT, wireless communication, everything is just possible because of computer network. So the key takeaway, or I would say the key message from this particular subject is that computer network connects the world. Now, with respect to industry, I would like to specify why this course is important. So this course provides the foundation for all kinds of roles, maybe the software engineering role, network engineer, clouds and DevOps engineers, or a cybersecurity analyst. For all such kind of role, you require a great fundamental knowledge of this subject. And the fundamental knowledge which you gain here, it is applicable almost in everywhere, maybe the data centers, cloud platforms, for connecting LANs, WANs, everywhere for, firewalls, providing secure communication. It is all possible just because of computer networks. And industry expects strong networking fundamentals concept from everyone. Now we'll see how this subject is important with respect to competitive exams. First of all, I would like to mention this is really a very high scoring core subjects. The various competitive exam, if I would say like GATE, NET, PSUs, everywhere you go and you have to face the competitive exams, this is the most important subjects generally asked. And here, these are some important exam topics which I have just mentioned that you must have to have the detailed knowledge of these subjects so that you can crack all kind of competitive exams. I'll be discussing about this topic later in the coming slides. So now moving on to the course objectives. At the end of this course, we expect that the student will be able to understand the data communication and protocol, the fundamental concepts of how the communication is made, how the systems are connecting, how they are talking, what all kinds of protocols being applied at every layer. And then you should be able to explain the all layers functionalities of OSI model and TCP/IP model, which are the basic fundamental models of your computer networks on which the complete network is being designed. And then you should be able to configure LANs using switches and routers. These are your interconnecting devices which connects your LANs to the system. So you should be able to design such LANs. And also we expect that the student should be able to analyze the network performance, taking care of congestion in the network. And also at the end, we want that we should provide the holistic overview, holistic knowledge to the students, not only theoretical but also practical. So we expect that the student should be able to use tools like Packet Tracer, Network Simulator, Wireshark, etc. Such kind of, the complete information or the complete takeaway from this subject is not only theoretical but also in terms of software tools which are available in the current market to analyze the network related issues or designing the networks. Now, moving on to the overview of your syllabus. Here to design the syllabus of computer network, we followed a layered approach. We try to divide the entire syllabus in 6 units, and we have arranged these units in a layered manner, going one by one. So in unit 1 provides the foundation of computer networks. Here basically we'll be focusing on, if I would say, we'll be focusing on the kinds of network topologies, how the systems, in what possible ways the systems can be connected in the network. Then we'll be talking about, basically we'll be talking about the TCP/IP model, the OSI model, and some bit of their related functionalities we'll be discussing under this unit. So at the end of this unit, you will be getting the, I would say, in a summarized manner, you'll be able to know how the systems work or how the systems to system talk to each other. And then unit 2 will be basically stressing on your local area network technologies and the wide area network technologies. Here we'll be discussing about the Ethernet. We'll be talking about the, if I would say, the Bluetooth and some bit of some related technologies, ATM structure also. So we'll be talking about such technology at this layer. Then in unit 3, which is unit 3, unit 4, and unit 5, I will say these 3 units are really very important. Unit 3 covers your data link layer, responsible for transmission of packets from one end to the, from one host to the host. This layer, at this layer, you'll be discussing about all protocols that will be applicable at this layer to make this functionality work. So this data link layer will also be talking about various access control protocols, various error control protocols. This data link layer is numerically intensive. I would say you have to pay a lot of attention whenever we will be discussing this unit. This unit is not only important academically, but also I would say in competitive exam, you usually get question based on this unit. So you have to put a great focus on this unit. Coming to the next unit, which is network layer. At this network layer, we'll be talking about the IP addressing part, basically how the addresses are being allotted to every device, and like subnet concept of subnetting, supernetting will be introduced at this layer, and also we'll be discussing about IPv4 protocol, IPv6 protocol, and how IPv6 provides the better functionality over IPv4 and why IPv4 is now depleting, why we are coming now with the IPv6, all such kind of things will come under this unit. Again, I would try to emphasize that this unit is really again very important because you are going to get numerical portion on this unit, specifically on the IP addressing part, because here we'll be also covering the classless addressing as well as the classful addressing, and generally the numerical portion is asked on subnet concept of subnetting, supernetting, applying like various IPv4 and IPv6 protocols, something related to these things generally asked in the competitive exams. Coming to the transport layer, at the transport layer, will be discussing about the, generally we'll be discussing about the protocols like TCP and the UDP, and how these two protocols are different in terms of connection orientation or connectionless service, in terms of reliability or unreliability. So here generally the questions based on these two principles, whether you require a connection oriented service or you require a connectionless service. Generally, people ask like which protocol you will be choosing for providing such kind of functionality. So here we'll be dealing with all such protocols, majorly TCP and the UDP one. Coming to the unit 6, here we'll be studying this application layers. We'll talk about various protocol which are available at the application layer, such as SMTP protocol, which is for the mail transfer protocol, file transfer protocol. Then we have Telnet, we have HTTP, we have domain name service protocol, and many more. So at this layer, basically our focus will be on various protocols that will be available at the units at this application layer, and also some bit of cryptographic concepts we'll be studying out here to basically explain you how the security is handled whenever the whenever the data is in communication from one end to the another end. So this gives you the overall overview of syllabus, your computer network syllabus. Now moving on to the key learning highlight, which I really want to focus on. At the end of the subject, we expect that, or I expect that, students should have the clear idea of the various topics which I mentioned here, like coming to the first error detection and correction part, which is handled at the data link layer. So I would say there are, although there are various techniques to provide error detection and the correction part, but we'll be focusing more on the cyclic redundancy code, which stands for the CRC, and the Hemming code. So you should have the clear idea of these two particular error handling techniques, because generally the numerical portion is asked on such particular error detection and correction techniques. Then coming to the IP addressing part, again, as I've already explained earlier, here you will be generally getting question based on IPv4 packet structure and how IPv6 is better than IPv4 in terms of providing different kinds of added on services which are not available in IPv4. So, and the concept of subnetting and supernetting is also very important, which will be generally, I mean, the numerical portion on these two concepts is generally asked in the competitive exams. Then coming to the various different kinds of routing protocols, we have like dynamic routing protocols, static routing protocols, we have like intra-domain and inter-domain routing protocols. So, and how they work. So, various routing protocols, you should have a clear idea about it. And then coming to the congestion control, which is again really very important. You have to have the idea of how the congestion is handled at the network layer as well as at the transport layer, because we'll be having sliding window protocols to handle the congestion. So all these concepts are really very important. So I want my student to be like well equipped and well knowledgeable about these concepts, that so that they should not suffer whenever we go for facing competitive exams. So if you have the idea of what all topics are highly relevant with respect to industry point of view or from the competitive exam point of view. So that is why I really want to stress you should have the clear idea of about these topics. Then again, as I've highlighted, that at the transport layer, you should have the clear information about how TCP work, how UDP work, how two are different in terms of providing different kinds of services, and also quality of service. There are so many parameters which defines the quality of service at the at the transport layer and the network layer. So you should have the clear idea about key what do you mean by quality and how you'll ensure and what all possible techniques are available for ensuring the quality. Then again, the application protocols. So here I've mentioned 2, 3 protocols, but there are a long list of various protocols that you should have a clear idea about these protocols. So all the topics which I've highlighted here really very important with respect to exam as well as for cracking interviews and for facing your competitive exam. So my dear students, this is my request to everyone that please, whenever we'll discuss these concepts, you please be very alert for understanding these concepts. Now coming to the laboratory part. So this course is not theoretically, it's not theoretical subject. Here we'll also be telling you about the hands-on learning. We're providing you the hands-on learning. You'll be able to design networks using Cisco Packet Tracer, which is a software, networking tool. Using this particular software, we'll see how you can design the network using your switches and the routers and the gateways and the hubs. So many interconnecting devices are there. So here we'll be focusing clearly 3, 4 practicals doing on Cisco Packet Tracer. Then we'll be doing certain programming part using network simulator also. And then we'll be realizing the network traffic using Wireshark. Also, we'll be doing little bit of socket programming, how client and server communicates. We'll be seeing the transfer of information from the client and the server part. We'll also be covering in the syllabus, and also the configuring of switches and the routers. So, my dear students, I want to say that these practical skills are really highly valued in internships, projects, and placements. So, please focus on the subjects with great depth. Now, to conclude, I would say that um, computer networks explains how system communicates. This subject is not only academically important, but also have a high relevance with respect to competitive exam and industry point of view. Here, I would like to mention that we have a recruiter called British Telecom, which basically look for the strong foundation or fundamental knowledge of this subject, particularly in the candidates. So, and it is the specifically this particular course they're looking for. So I would request that you should please focus on this subject with great depth so that you can crack the interviews very easily. So I wish all the best to my dear students and best wishes for the successful semester. This is all from my side. Thank you.